What's going on, guys? It's Vintage Gamer here, and today in this video another PC build, which is a £400 build, which I really do hope you guys will enjoy this build, because it is a cheap build, but it's not the best build I have, but it's not the worst build, because there is worse builds out there. So I've chosen the parts, like every other video, that I think are the best for this build, because they are cheap. It's like not too cheap. They are around the right mark to put into a computer and run games at 1080p and at 60 FPS, which is like CSGO, H1Z1 and other games like that, if you guys play them. So this video is just the smallest budget on this channel, which I am hoping slowly to get bigger budget, smaller budget. If you guys want to see a budget, remember, just leave it in the comments below, and I will see that you want a budget, so I'll see what you want. So, talking about the computer, let's get straight into the parts. The first part I have chosen is the Intel i3 dual core, as it is a really cheap CPU, which that's all we need, which it is cheap but is also good for this budget, as it is around £90, but not all CPUs are this cheap, as you can upgrade if you want like an i5, but because it's £400, I think this CPU was the best, which you should be able to play them games out there which do need good chips, but you may have to turn down the settings for this chip, which I don't really mind because it's cheap, which goes with what the build needs to be. The next part is the motherboard, and I've chosen the ASRock Super Alloy H110M HDV, which this is a small micro ATX board, which this is all you need because you're not doing SLI. We haven't got 4 RAM sticks, so you only need 2 DIMM slots and 1 PCIe 3 slot, and also we've got that socket which is for the Intel chips. So it's a small board because we have also chosen a small case for it to go in, so we don't need anything too big for this budget PC. And for the storage, I have chosen to go with 2 terabytes, even though it's a cheap PC. I just thought 2 terabytes Western Digital Blue, which is all we need. We don't need to go to 4 terabytes. We don't even need an SSD or an M.2, which the motherboard can't support M.2s, but you don't need them because it's just going to be for gaming, and all you need to do is just store all your games on it, so we don't really need to worry about that. I have then chosen to stay low in the budget, so I've chosen the Corsair CX550M, which is a cheap power supply for all you need, because you don't need over 550 watts for this, because we have got a cheap card, we've got a cheap CPU, well not cheap but like a low price, which isn't too powerful, and it doesn't need a lot of power to feed into them. And the graphics card I've chosen is the GTX 1050, which the prices nowadays are going up and down for graphics cards, which this is the cheapest I could find, this 1050 Ti. I didn't want just a 1050, I thought let's see if we can push for a 1050 Ti as cheap as we could find it, and this is as cheap as I can find it because it is really expensive these days. So the zotac GeForce GTX 1050 will be able to play them AAA titles. You may need to turn the settings down a bit because of the CPU handling, but this will be able to play them at a solid 60 FPS if you get all the settings right and if you tweak them around, which usually you do that anyway to get the best performance out of all of what you wanted. Next is the case, and I've gone for the Bit Phoenix BFX Nove 100 Black Widow, which is a small ATX, mini ATX case, which you don't need anything too big for this, and is only around about £35, which is a really good case, which you don't need anything too big as long as you got space for your graphics card, then it's fine. Which the graphics card takes 2 PCI brackets, which this does have 2 PCI brackets. I don't know which ones, but it will. And for the goodness, it's a good case. And onto the RAM, I have chosen the Corsair Value Select, which is cheap enough RAM that I could find, and is around £90 for one 8GB DDR4 stick, which is actually really quite expensive for RAM, because RAM is usually cheap. But like I said, PC parts these days are going up in value, going down in value, so I'm trying to find the cheapest ones, but these do round about add up to £400, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less when you buy them, but they do actually round up to £400. So that is all the parts I have got for you guys, and if you do like it, please give the video a like, which I would highly appreciate. But not all these parts will be in stock, because I don't know how long they will be, or even if they are in stock, because I choose them and then I do keep checking back, and they are in stock at the moment. So if you go and buy them, they will be. I'll leave the links to America and the UK. Don't know about the American ones yet, so I'll definitely have the UK ones. But also, I would like you guys to subscribe, because we are doing good, and I am trying to get to 100 subscribers, and I'm trying to get the views on the videos up, which usually I'm getting about 50 to 80 views max on these videos, which I would love it if you guys would please show that you care about the channel, subscribe, like my videos, leave a comment if you think I could adjust something, or even if you want to see a type of PC build or parts in a PC build, or if there's any new product out, leave a comment and then I'll have a look at it, or even if there's a budget, I'll do it for you. So that's it really, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.